Begin your watch, APAC Premiere.
比赛开始，我们看一下双方的攻防情况。Lunatic 害蓝方防守 ，IG Fire 红方进攻。
好，那么是范儿是先作为一个进攻方，
对，元气拿出了路霸，双方都是使用了路霸体系，镜像阵容，
先上楼
DJ 跟和尚，对 DJ 跟和尚，有和尚的话推进速度会慢一点，但是他的爆发力会更强。如果是路霸打路霸都勾中对方的情况下，有和尚的一方可能会占点优势。
对，这边罗伊的小美从正门先隔了一下，但是进入 CDA 这边破盾，冲盾的一个情况下变高了，没保住。李泰俊是先杀死了元气，
对，
这样的话就很被动了。兵强一格，开始进行收割模式。
韩国队在小智能方面运用的真的是很娴熟。
是的，他们抓这个机会，实际上这种情况下出钩确实是很容易勾中的。但是在勾中之后的一个处理，韩国队集火是非常非常的快。
其实刚才我看双方破盾的速度差不多，
都有路霸嘛，这个不会有特别的一个差距。
我的终极技能。
罗伊现在已经有暴风雪了。
是的，
可以看到，在这种情况下，罗伊的能量攒的速度还是比较快的。
和 S 卡差不多，这边隔了一下，弄出不许走，
一个瓶子砸得非常的精准。
元气是直接先杀死了 S 卡，S 卡这边有着暴风雪，并没有能出来的情况下，直接强刚一波。
对，能不能控制对方大米？
对 ，Linky 是技能全交完，然后直接要刚一波了，杀死了奶爸，但是自己也是阵亡，有没有机会？
进聊了。
罗伊，哎呀，这边被勾住了，这边大剑。
Linkin 杀死了对方的大锤，残血有点
高啊！
对，要强杀师傅，就是要过来战师傅，师傅是没有，又是一个禁疗啊！哇 ，Milo 这个残局的，他这个残局的就是找你敌方的一个关键性人物，太坚决了。
是的，
真的太坚决了。
他的毛妹的一个特点就是右键左键结合的情况下，他可以花很少时间快速把你人清掉，不让你有反应治疗的机会。
他知道对面 Linkin 是没有胜的。刚才这一波其实 IG Fire 交了太多的资源，但是没能打进去，是非常非常亏的。对，这边 S 卡刚才很关键是他拥有着暴风雪的一个终极技能，但自己没死，自己是被打死了。所以说刚才那波 IG Fire 最大的一个机会。
罗伊现在要攒下一个大招，要强过点的话吃暴风雪的。
又是一勾，
暴风雪该来的终归会来。隔的还可以，隔的还可以。可惜，另外一侧是穿了，
都没用啊！你还是要，因为你没有卢西奥这个英雄，
没有
对方暴风雪一扔，兵强一格，人往上一压，你是根本没有办法任何机会跑掉。
在没有卢西奥的情况下，其实最伤的是元气用的死神。
对，但是这边死了双辅防守方，
元气更换死神也是希望
兵强一格，
快速的清掉对方死神。
这个兵强直接为防守方赢取了5秒钟的时间。
是的，防守方其实我们看到有不少人是从后面赶过来的，
已经集合了，已经集合了。但是这边又是兵强，
重点朋友放的还可以。
对，这边兵强不错。
哎呀，这个套子太烦了，杀掉了，杀掉了李泰军。S 卡又在侧面，这边 S 卡输出环境很好。有一个重力
大戒是阵亡，
裂地猛击直接拍打3人。
残局的 Milo 查理亚又是完成了收割，瑟瑟发抖的 Linky， 漂亮，
并不发抖，
但他一个了，
但他只有一个，还瑟瑟发抖啊 ！Milo 上来了，怎么办吧？是的，400血的英雄点不死了。
刚才 Linky 其实处理的还是很冷静，只剩下最后一波
能杀掉一个已经是最大的。
这一波看裂地猛击打他一个能量差，就打他一个能量差。
看元气能不能收割呢？
没加速，贴不动，贴不到人，漂亮！这波可以杀人，
是的，大
有机会，
一个拍地板拍了对方4个人，后排一个裂空挂了一个球，
血线被压低了，回头想打这一定要打，
哎呀，
被李泰军给收掉了。
李泰军保持了一个优势的射程，15码的距离。
喂 ，Linky 这边是立功了，李泰军是直接被点掉。
上的左键是真的强。
给个纳米激素，
找一下 Milo，
强吃 Milo，
纳米激素，超级大水枪，
还是想守一波，
硬冲用。
这边 Milo 穿过去又杀掉奶爸。
是的 ，S 卡这边我们看一下被解决掉了。
是的，
残局处理，元气粘住对手大锤。
哎呦，
给元气一个凳子，
还是这个兵强，还是虽然说是。
And it looks like 1-7 has switched back to Reaper himself too, realizing they need to have this impact to be able to provide when this fight's come.
IJP does have his Graviton Surge available here. Just the only ult really there for IG Fire at the moment. They literally need to make some ground up. Only under 2 minutes left. Graviton Surge is going to come in. That's the one ult available for IG Fire. But Sound Barrier coming out here for Lunatic, keeping them alive. Tun goes down. Now YJP back through the backside. It's going to be another Graviton Surge, but this time coming from Lunatic. YJP not caught into it early on. Now he is. He has a shield available for himself, so he feels okay about challenging down the opposing Zarya. And Miro is going to fall.
He's gonna fall indeed. Even some great walls coming out of Veska, just not gonna be enough to keep his teammates alive. The Nano Boost of Reinhardt might be enough here. Dean is just swinging for the fence. He's gonna have himself Knight, and he's looking for more. Eventually, 1-7's gonna take him down as he was Nano Boost, but Eska able to turn things around though. The Blizzard, oh no, they're gonna be walled off. The Transcend's gonna be enough to keep them alive, and even a wall from their own teammate of Roy does help prevent Lunatic from going for the attack.
Roy had to bring it down pretty quickly after that one there. Eska managed to get another kill just in the backside, and Tressel now to flame strike forward. Another wall coming up for Eska just to try and buy himself a little bit of space and maybe time even to hasty retreat here for the Korean squad. And the Graviton Surge comes in. Roy puts up the walls and forced to bring it back down. They want to get some damage here. They want to get a wipe in this fight. Miro's going to be the first one to go down, and Roy gets walled up. He's bounced back off the payload here. Now looking for a few more targets, but Taejun coming to the back line, has himself a nano boost there in, looking for the second support. He gets 3 in that fight, and Ru Jae-hong finds Roy.
And now 30 seconds left to go here. IG Fire have a long run back to even get to this payload, and Lee Taejun with the Death Blossom available. How are you going to surpass this? How are you going to get past this man? It might come down to Roy. It might come down to Knight to actually hit this sleep dart. Toby with Sound Barrier as well to help them survive. The fight does extend further even if a Blizzard does come down, but Roy doing what he does best, stalling for time here, and the Fire Strike actually giving a lot of ult percent to Dean, only at 20% currently, but Eska, Blizzard now available. Lee Taejun, no one spotted him here. He's going to come in from the back, so the Blizzard puts him in disarray, but the shield's coming in. What are you doing? To the back line, but he doesn't get a single kill. YGP's finally able to secure that, and Roy takes down Ru Jae-hong.
Oh, that was very, very lucky that IG Fire didn't suffer more than they did in that case there. They're going to be pressured. It's the backline presence of Eska there. Not able to get himself the kill he was looking for as YJP able to cut him down before he really gets started. Graviton Surge available. YJP lets it go instantly. No surprises there, but he's caught together. It's one coming out from Lunatic as well. All the Graviton Surges coming through. Now Miro just going to have to back away. Has himself a shield, but trying to take a 1v2. He can't. It's going to be YJP to cut him down. And the next checkpoint is looming here. IG Fire fighting tooth and claw. Will they get there? There's a Reaper off towards the side there, but Lee Jae-tun can only really just stall this one out. He'll be cut down surely, but his team, they've had enough time to get here. He might have some backup, but it won't be enough. It's only be a couple players for Lunatic, and eventually IG Fire are going to get that checkpoint.
No way Lunatic should have been able to contest that at all, even with the Reaper stall for some time and Lucy to come to speed them in. YJP, with the energy he's been able to maintain now since these fights have been back to back to back, there hasn't been a lull in action. He's sitting at high energy, so if you're ever coming close to him, he's just going to tear you down. And now Lunatic with no ultimates up, ready to go. Lee Taejun again switching from Reaper over to Roadhog. All they're going to have is a nano boost, and Dean, he's looking for kills. He's going to have Earthshot in the midst of this. The wall's going to come in to actually prevent him from really doing too much as they're trying to cut them in half. You want 7, going for the possible payload, gets the pulse bomb on Lee Taejun, gets the kill, but Dean, he's been able to take down the Edda. Tressor's falling to Miro as well, and YJP's finally able to chime back in, but who's dealing with 1-7? No one's even attacking him really, except finally Eska with the headshot. That'll shut him down, and Lunatic will hold.
40 seconds left now, and IG Fire need to come back as quickly as they possibly can. It looked like they were starting to thrive under the pressure and actually start to enjoy this very aggressive brawl that Lunatic are putting in front of it, but now they sort of run out of time, and time for fun is definitely over. There's a wall there. Yes, could probably throw that one up to start with. He has himself a Blizzard, so he's getting ready to lay that one down. And there'll be good follow-up here from the rest of his team. There's going to be a sound barrier there. And that might be enough to just cut IG Fire down. This has to work very, very well. 9-8 is cut out towards the back, and one trying to go forward, but it's going to be a sound barrier here for Lunatic and a Blizzard coming up. 1-7 drops out of his Wraith form into the Blizzard, but he survives it somehow. The timing works in his favor. It's traded 1 for 1. YJP going down. No Zarya here for IG Fire. That could hurt them here. Miro finds him. Oh, off the edge. Eska goes up for a long walk off a short plank here, and now the Earthshatter comes in. For Roy trying to get to the back line. He was almost caught in that Graviton Surge, but managed to dash out. Still, Lunatic win that fight out, and IG Fire are cut short of their goal.
That was a lot harder than IG Fire probably expected. They went into overtime on almost every single choke point or checkpoint there. And the aggression out of both teams was non-stop. I felt we're in one long TDM there. It's a team deathmatch because they wanted to fight. They wanted blood. And every inch that IG Fire was able to get through, they paid for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a hard-fought battle. And to be fair, IG Fire seemed to enjoy that to a degree. It didn't really seem to phase it to a great degree. The problem is they were just losing the fights. They were more than happy to play in this particular style, but Lunatic High, they were born into this style. They were molded by it. They didn't see a pleasant, slow-paced game until they were already adults.
I think this definitely feeds into maybe both teams, but the problem is, like you pointed out, Lunatic High, like they're more than inclined to play in this kind of situation, to play with this fast-paced action, where IG Fire like to play more of like a standard game, like to play around the Ana a lot, not necessarily engage without big ultimates, but they're being forced to adapt, and they're sure as hell doing it. Yeah, they lost in the Bonnie, very one-sided, but King's Row, they were able to come together and finally get 2/3 of those checkpoints done.
Very hard to cast that, I'll be honest with you. There was a lot happening on that half, and this is what we were already told. We were warned about this, is that the Korean squads do want to continue to push you. They don't really want to give you too much room to breathe. I mean, that was already evidenced, I think, from what we've seen on Umbani and even the game against Rogue here. And some teams just thrive in this chaos that they create. It's kind of the objective for them. They don't want to allow the enemy team to settle because they know that they themselves can work when they're in disarray. They have the mechanics, I guess they have the instincts to get the job done when it's maybe a little bit hard to communicate through the mess of action. And they use that against their opponents who, you know, often can't really deal with that same scenario here. So IG Fire, it was time for them to answer back here. They need to hold Lunatic High back before that point. The payload was held inside the Foundry here, so that's the goal. And Lunatic High just needs to press ahead.
I think it mostly comes down to this first point here, Mitch. If Lunatic High take this within like the first 2 attacks, I don't know if IG Fire have the constitution to hold them back for the rest of the time into the final push, into distance. But let's see, Lunatic High going to the high ground, sticking with what they know. They got Lee Taejun on the Roadhog. They've actually been able to wall them off. There's been no follow-up because Zeska and the rest of his team have actually been walled off and separated by the enemy made by Roy.
It takes a little bit more damage than they would have otherwise liked to, and is forced to prematurely use the ice barrier. Shield being broken there for Dean, or at least it seemed that way. He actually dropped it for a moment to give a bit more ult percent over towards his Ana. Although it's night though, going to have the first nano booster coming up at this stage here. Shields are being broken left, right, and center, but Lunatic High are allowed to move on towards the point, so IG now have to respond to this.
They're actually pushed back into the hotel, so they're going to go for the revive. The first checkpoint almost being taken. The nano boost coming in, and the hook as well. It's been able to control the enemy Reinhardt so well. Dean eventually going to fall for this one. Trester just trying to keep his teammates alive as that Roadhog played by Lee Taejun is looking for some damage, but he's not able to get it in the midst of this.
2 nano booster tanks in the mix here, but Eska only has eyes for Knight, and he picks him up there. Still a better love story than Twilight, I'll be honest, but Eska now having to back away. He's lost most of his team, and Lincoln is eventually going to put him to sleep.
Alright, so Lunatic High have to go back to the drawing board here. IG Fire able to hold on, but you can see the importance they have on this point. They threw every ultimate they had to make sure they can secure it. It's going to come down to YJP to hit a good graphic surge, but Miro's already been able to mirror him, and Toby has sound barrier available. IG Fire, they're going with the, well, we haven't pointed this out yet, but they're going with the Zenyatta and the Ana. They're not actually going for the AoE healing and the sound barrier, which we've seen Lunatic High going for, but the graphic surge is going to be able to come through, but no kills happening off this because of the riot grenades.
It was in front of Dean's shield there as well, so Yuanza was trying to get behind the shield that was still up, and it was very, very difficult for him to do so. And there it is, there's going to be another nano boost on towards Dean. He lays down the Lord, he lays down the hammer. Lee Taejun now going to come out with the whole hog, and Dean is, well, sort of behind. He's managed to pincer on towards IG Fire, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for him. Toby, waiting on his sound barrier for whatever reason at this stage, doesn't want to use it quite yet. He realizes this fight's already lost, and he's more than happy to build up and allow some ults to be burnt on the side of the Chinese squad.
Yeah, so IG Fire, with the Zenyatta pick that they have with Ana, they have a lot of damage onto a single target. So if Yuan7 gets pulled in, or anyone in general gets pulled in, even Trester, you get discorded, you're going to fall, especially with Lee Taejun switching now over to Reaper. So a little bit of switch between the two, but it allows them to kind of play a lot more fast-paced, but that wall's going to come in. It's going to be countered by a nice Maywell coming in as well, coming out of Eska, and that's going to prevent any sort of fault for IG Fire.
Yeah, it's nicely played. I like how teams wall around the statue and use that sort of space, but Roy going to come in here with the Blizzard here, see what he can make happen. He goes very, very low and forced to, will spend most of the time actually encased in ice to get his health back. Eska steps back away from it now. He throws his own Blizzard in. This could be pretty nasty there as well, because it was Tresor who had the nano boost. Now he's frozen solid. Roy backing away, that realizes his 2 tanks are out of action, and he himself might just be tested here as the sound barrier comes in. It's going to be Dina for 1-7 finds him. Roy's still alive, and he actually has a bit of freedom to look for Toby. Gets one shot, looking for the next one. Can't quite get it, but IG Fire still able to fend Lunatic High off again. And they could do this, Jason. 1 minute left for the Koreans to take this point.
We have double Earth Shatter available. Lee Taejun getting close to his death boss on the other side for IG Fire. Yuan7 still sitting on the Roadhog. And Lincoln again, this man seems to have transcendence almost every single fight at night. He's going to have his nano boost in this fight as long as he doesn't get bursted down. With that Maywell coming through, he's going to separate the team, yes, but it's not going to be enough to keep them off. It's not enough to force an attack out of IG Fire. 48 seconds left to go. We need to see something happen. Lunatic need to make momentum, and that might be it.
Yeah, he's going to try and go in here, but Lincoln, good response to that one. Knew the Death Blossom would probably be forthcoming. He's going to come over the top here for the Transcendent. Lincoln there, going to get squished up against the wall, and Miro finds, oh lord, it's IG Fire falling apart here. Lunatic High finally get their foot in the door. They managed to cut Yuan 7 out for the rest of his team. The Roadhog now is going to be cut down as he tries to back away. And they get the point, but Jason, there's not a lot of time left here. Bearing in mind, all Lunatic High need to do is finish this map. All they need to do, in fact, is get the second checkpoint at 35.1 meters. That's still well within the realm of possibility here.
And Lincoln's been doing so damn well. And in general, IG Fire have been spreading out to a good distance to actually prevent Body Grenade from catching multiple people, so the Transcendence can actually do work. This Blizzard actually coming in out of Lunatic High to try to catch him off guard. They're going to get 3 quick kills off this, so they're going to get some distance. They're going to prevent IG Fire from contesting at the archway, and does give them a lot of ground.
Look at this! The Titan going so deep. He's going to try and catch on towards 9, and he gets him. Wow, and still 2, now not 3, but only 2 people on the payload here, so it could be moving faster for Lunatic High. Still, good kills. They're going to feed themselves some ult percent, and they're also going to get themselves pretty much around this right corner in the top right of your screen. So, IG Fire, that's going to cause some desperation to be a factor here. Both teams have got Graviton Surges coming into this last fight, but a sound barrier might be the difference here for Toby.
I was honestly amazed that actually committed a Blizzard to that push out of Eska. Yeah. But getting Lead that close to his ultimate could be the big turning point here. If they have a clean transition into the second checkpoint, this could be huge.
Graviton Surge coming out here. It's from IG Fire, and Yuan7's trying to claim this ledge for his own, but his opponents have all left. Sound barrier coming out now, and no, Yuan's not able to find anyone, although his teammates are. Roy finds 2. It's Litasian and Miro falling, and Yuan7 now just on clean-up duty. Lunatic High do burn a couple of volts into that fight, but crucially, Miro still has his Graviton Surge, whereas YJP does not.
They have the combo actually for Lunatic High. They have the Graviton Surge plus the Death Blossom out of Litasian. IG Fire, I don't know, that was actually a really good fight from considering that Lunatic High have been able to put the pressure on in this phase, but more importantly, Lunatic High have such a long run back. It's been about 20 seconds, and they haven't even seen the payload yet again.
4 ults for the Koreans, though. That could be important. In fact, they might even just blow them all to get themselves a time extension here. That might even be considered worth it. They need to deal with Yuan7 up on the ledge here. And that's the Graviton, but very, very instantly, Lincoln going to use that Transcendence. He managed to charge it up in the last fight here. Makes it hard for Lunatic High to break through in that first occasion. But YJP is cut down. Litasian gets himself 1. DE coming forward as well. With the man on your screen, the Reaper here. That's the goal. You can see the golden square. It's the 1v1. Surely not. Knight goes close, but it's a little bit too much to deal with. The Reaper right in his face, up in his grill, and getting that kill. That second checkpoint comes up for Lunatic High, and they've got maybe just under a couple minutes here to get to that square.
He missed. He was trying to go towards the high ground there, Litasian, but he gets on the low. Doesn't matter in the end. He's just going to be able to escape. Actually, relatively being unharmed. The problem is you can see right there, that's the point they have to pass, and with 2 minutes to go, that's going to be a long period of time for IG Fire to maintain the ground, to hold on to it, knowing they actually have the high ground lost already. They can't afford to have Yuan7 teleport up there because Litasian will rip him to shreds.
It's first come, first serve when it comes to that ledge here. Blizzard's going to come out there as well. We can see the Tresor charging on out. Gets a bit of damage, but not quite the kill so far. And Eska's able to respond to this one. He forces Roy in towards that ice form, and Dean takes down Tresor. Ultimately, that's the engaged player down for IG Fire. Graviton comes in. Roy trying to put a wall up here and do something about it. So far, not so good. Dean finds Yuan7. Roy forced back now as well. He's not the main target of focus. He needs a little bit more ult percent, Jason. He needs to get that Blizzard out, and he hasn't. He's ready to go.
But will it be enough though? Litasian going to the back of the lead for Anna, and Roy has fallen. The Blizzard has been put down. They'll buy some time, but it doesn't matter. Lunatic High sticking to it, getting frozen in the cold. Will push the payload across the line, and Lunatic High have guaranteed themselves a spot into the playoffs.
Not only that, Jason, but they have themselves a 1-map advantage in that final winners match of the day. And that's 1 step closer to securing top seed in this group. Whoever challenges them is going to have to win 2 in a row. That's not easy. But great stuff there from Lunatic High, although that first point really seemed to be a bit of a sticking point for them.
Yeah, it did indeed. And one thing I'm going to point out, in the grand scheme of things, they've now qualified for the playoffs, right?
Right.
But more importantly, like you said, the 1-map advantage they have, because the team who comes in second place of this group plays AF Blue in their quarterfinal match.
My gosh.
The team who comes in first plays Vici Gaming. And what we've seen out of AF Blue, you do not want to play them. So the Koreans, Lunatic High here, trying to avoid their brother-sister team, will have that 1-map advantage and get into the final match of the day.
I saw a tweet coming out from AKM there as well that says it's time to come back and take the first seed. So Rogue already thinking ahead towards that final match of the day, and they're going to come gunning for Lunatic High. But the bonus for the Koreans is that they can take a bit of a break. They can relax a bit until later on in the day. Time to head to a break in just a moment. No, we're going to go straight. Oh, of course. We actually need to meet with our MVP once that's sorted out. But let's chat about this a little bit more here. IG, of course, go down to that lower game.